What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? This is Ron Tucker. Welcome to Ron's channel, at Ron's Talking, on YouTube, of course. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Throw me a like, or two, or three, or four. If you're feeling generous, just let it flow. Let it flow. All right? Well, I appreciate you taking a look at me. And just want to say, yeah, boy. That's a shout out to my boy Rudy Giuliani for catching his second disbarment. He on the road, so I'm just rolling with him. It's my guy. Rudy with the big fat booty. You know, he's steadily getting disbarred all over here. They should just go ahead and take his license, just be done with it. But anyway, that's just my opinion, all right? Okay. There's been a lot of stuff going on, man. The news is always popping. It seems like it's just rolling like man, almost like a locomotive. It's just coming fast and furious, and it's like it's nonstop. Now, and before anybody get any ideas about the color of my eyes, my pupils and everything, they're all kind of red, aren't they? But, you know, somebody might be thinking I'm, rolling up a few of those good ones, but it ain't me anymore. I mean, I don't do that. I don't do that. I've had some episodes back in the past, back in the day, but I'm retired. I'm good. Just my wife, she has allergies, and I don't know if allergies are contagious, but it's like lately I've been sniffling. My last video last night, I was sniffling through the thing. I had to apologize a few times to anybody and everybody who saw my video last night. But anyway, don't get any wrong ideas. I'm not a head. I've had my fun. Anyway, back to the news. There's plenty of it. Excuse me for a little coffee hit here. Let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to start with this guy that you might have heard of before in the past. Is a representative from Louisiana named Clay Higgins. Now, Mr. Higgins, in true racist fashion, him being a Republican, seems like that's what they're noted for nowadays, the party of Trump. Mr. Higgins decided to attack the Haitians and pile on like the rest of them. Talking about the ones in Springfield, he said they better get out of this country before January the 20th. Now, I assume what he meant by that is he believes that his homeboy, President Trump, former President Trump, is going to be President Trump again, and all the Haitians better get out of Dodge by the 20th, or else. Can you spell deportation? Okay. Now, that's all I can surmise from his comment. Now, as soon as he made this comment and posted on social media, I think on Twitter, he caught all the backlash and the blowback, and then here comes all of his Republican defenders, starting with those Steve Scalise. He's crippled now because somebody tried to shoot his legs off his butt a few years ago at that baseball game between the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, I never wish any harm or bad luck to anybody. I'm not really like that. But Mr. Scalise, he's an avowed racist, and he once claimed he was David Duke, the Grand Wizard of the Klan without the baggage. In other words, he's a Klan member, but he just has been publicized as highly as Mr. Duke. So now you know where Mr. Scalise is coming from. So anytime you see him hobbling by with his cane or walker, wherever he used to get around it, it's a public service announcement. Don't stick your leg out and try to kick his cane or, just walk off from under him. That's not polite. That's not right. So I'm not advocating nothing like that. But if you do, shoot me a picture. Anyway, So the next person to try to jump to Mr. Higgins' defense is the Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Now we all know Mike's a good, upstanding Christian guy who believes in things being done right and fair and with a reverence to the law. Okay. So Mr. Johnson stated that Higgins is a dear friend of his from Louisiana as well, and a very frank and outspoken person. Translated, he don't really give a damn what Higgins said about them Haitians. But he's not going to say it like that. So we move on. He also said that Mr. Higgins is a principled man. I think he tweeted, but I didn't see it. But he tweeted something today about the Haitians. He was approached by his colleagues, and I'm sure all of them were Democrats, who said it was offensive. So Speaker Johnson, damn, he said that Higgins went to the back, where they all go, I guess, when they've had some transgressions and stuff in their lives, and he went back there and prayed on it. Now, ain't that touching? That's very, very moving and sweet. My question, I wonder, who did he pray to? Was it Satan? Or did he call Trump? Come to think of it, that's about the same, right? Anyway, couldn't have been Trump, because if it had been Trump, he would never took down that tweet. But Speaker Johnson claimed he pulled the post down, and Johnson claimed that Higgins regretted it, and that's why he pulled it down. And he said, I'm sure he probably regrets the language he used. Now, why Squeaker Johnson? Damn! I'm sorry, folks. I'm having a hard time with these names, these titles. I'm sorry. While Speaker Johnson was wiping Higgins' ass, because his diapers were getting soiled and dirty and stinky, Higgins said he meant what he said, and he said it's all true. So I don't know what Johnson was talking about. These people, they have their impromptu spokespeople that just come out of nowhere and defends them without even knowing everything behind what's being said and what the situation is calling for. Just like Johnson said initially, he ain't seen nothing. He didn't see the tweet, but he's gonna comment about it and talk about how Mr. Higgins is regretting what he said. Now, of course, them being Republicans, they lie on top of each other. So Higgins said he meant what he said. He said it's all true. He said, I could put up another post tomorrow if you want me to, but I'll say what I want. It's not a big deal to me. I don't know whose words you're going to take for it. Not that it really ultimately matters. To me, Speaker Johnson obviously just trying to defend his flock. And Higgins is going to be the racist he's always been. So there you have it, folks, with that scenario. But it's always the case. Sure as I'm sitting here, it ain't never enough just for these white guys to try to have each other's back. We always got to have a spook to come running to their defense too, just so he can throw his half cents worth in, just for good measure. So here he comes, old Representative Byron Donalds from Florida. He got to, throw his cape on and jump into the fray to help his plantation owner, old Clay Higgins, along with his other coon companion, Wesley Hunt, from the great state of Texas. That plantation ran by old Governor Abbott. So, old Higgins, and Wesley Hunt, my boy Donalds, they all got the little cabal going. So now they feel like, Higgins, and he done got his feelings hurt. So now they want to support him. And so, you know, they said that they didn't think that Clay Higgins' Twitter post didn't affect or hurt Trump supporters with support with black voters. Hunt went as far as saying everybody knows who they're going to vote for at this point anyway, so it don't make any difference. Two coons who could care less about other people's colors, plight, in this racist cesspool of a country that we call America. And they just want to cement their positions and their chance of securing a spot in Trump's cabinet or his administration somewhere, anywhere, if he should win. And that's where Byron Donalds and Wesley Hunt are. Yeah, everybody got an objective, some kind of ulterior motive, some kind of angle that they're after. So, you know, everybody's got a role in the game. Meanwhile, old Representative Donald, he talking about the upcoming debate between Tim Walz and J.D. Vance, and he claims that his prediction is Vance is going to score a knockout on Tuesday night with Tim Walz. You know, because he feels like the racist Charlie Kirk, who said on his show that he didn't think that Walz is going to have a chance against JD. And so, you know, my boy Donalds, who appeared on Charlie Kirk's show. Now, you know, Charlie Kirk is a straight up racist from the word go as well. So, old Donald, he being the coon he is, he stated that, you know, JD is an exceptional guy. He's an all-star player. And Donald then said the notion that Tim Walz is going to be able to deal with JD is farcical. You know? Because he says the nation doesn't know Tim Walz. But Donald feels old JD is going to be meticulous and dissect the Biden administration. He also claimed that Walz has never been in a debate, is not prepared to handle a debate with Vance. I didn't really know that J.D. Vance was that much of a master debater, but just shows how much I know. I just ain't really seen him in action, so I guess I can't really make a strong comment one way or the other. What he gonna do? But we'll see. And J.D. went on and said, Charlie, I know you've seen it. J.D.'s been all over the media nonstop for 2 months, pushing the narrative, checking the media, pushing back hard on the tough media. It's going to be a TKO, in my view. Yep. See, that's what they thought when their chief handler, Don the Chump Trump, got annihilated in his debate with Kamala Harris. And now, he wants nothing to do with that sister. Not even after she's agreed to debate him on his own turf on Fox News. Trump wants none of that. And Trump's had more national debates than JD, and he still got clobbered. And see, to me, in my view, the same fate awaits JD, just like Trump. Because, see, both of them built their campaigns on lies. So we'll see how much tutelage will benefit JD. So since they've been saying he's been getting schooled up and he's been studying and working on his speech and everything else he's gonna do at the debate stage. So I mean, you know, we'll see. We'll see how much his tutelage will benefit him when he's forced to answer those tough questions and can't wave the media away. I can't wait. Next Tuesday, folks. Be there. Let's move on to another hot topic right now. Mayor Eric Adams in New York. He didn't got indicted messing around with them Turks. This is a quid pro quo. They done scratched his back years ago. And then, you know, he's been playing footsies with them for a number of years. I understand that it was, I think it was a 36-story embassy that the Turks wanted to be built in New York City, and they were kind of putting the pressure on old Mayor Adams to get it done, and he was trying to get it done, and the FDNY inspectors indicated that they didn't think the building was safe, but the Turks wanted it, and they kept putting more pressure on Adams. Adams started putting pressure on those contractors. The contractors worried about losing their jobs, and they went ahead and acquiesced to the demands. And Adams was getting goodies. And then when the Turks start calling in their chips, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, everybody scratching each other's backs. Unfortunately for Mr. Adams, some of that back scratching was kind of, as you say, illegal. They've been investigating the brother for a minute, and now they dropped the bomb on him. Man, just on the heels of Diddy going down, but it looks like it's like a disease going around or something, like it's a plague, a virus of improprieties going on. And lately, it's been us brothers. I think Eric Dyson, Diddy, now Adams. I don't know why. Yeah, I do. I know why. And when you're dealing with people that have influence and money's involved, big money, millions, it just, people get compromised. And I ain't feeling sorry for the brother, because, hey, you knew better. You shouldn't have messed around with that fire. You got burnt. And here's the thing that pisses me off right now about Adams. Now, when he was running for mayor, you know, he was under scrutiny. And initially, fool, don't you know if you black, you always, by default, you're under scrutiny. We're talking about New York City. They ain't really want you a black behind in that position. No. But you got it. You won. You supposed to be all uptight with law enforcement and all that. And they came to get you. Because it looks like, from all indications, you're dirty. You're dirty. Straight up. Man, they got a lot of receipts on you. Just like they got on Diddy. Only difference is, ain't no baby oil involved. But here's what gets me the most right now, folks. This dude, Mayor Adams, now, he's trying to blame guess who? Like, everybody, and he's a Democrat this time. But who do Republicans blame anytime something goes wrong and it's not in their favor? They blame Kamala and Joe, or Joe and Kamala, right? That's what Mayor Adams is trying to make as his foil. It's Joe and Kamala's fault. He got investigated. He claims because they retaliating against him for making comments about the Biden-Harris's immigration policies. Forget it. Oh, but then again, before we go any further, what about Clarence Thomas and his little tryst and transactions and whatnot with Harlan Crow, and Harlan Crow's his gift giving? What about those little episodes and scenario? I'm just throwing it out. moving away from these clowns, let's talk about my girl, little darling Nikki Haley. And see, she got her panties all up in a bunch because Kamala might become president and the first female president in our history, and Nikki can't stand it. She's been chirping about that for years. See, Nikki, I've been watching her. She's been concerned about, she was always talking about how old Joe Biden was, and she was worried about Joe croaking or something before his term was up, and Kamala would become president by default. That was one of her biggest fears. Because she mentioned it sometimes, even when she was campaigning. I can't let Kamala Harris become president. The country won't survive, and she's not fit to be president. She's worried about Kamala more than she was worried about running against Trump. And that's where her ass lost. She might have got even more than 20%. Would have showed better. But nope. She had to fall in line with the rest of her fellow candidates who didn't have a spine and were afraid to confront Trump head on. And the master of deception that Trump is, he was smart enough to not even get into the damn debates and stuff. He knew what time it was. And he knew that the Republican Party was going to back him and not force him to get in. They weren't going to put no pressure on him. So Trump knew he was on easy street. But if Nikki Haley had stayed firm and resolute and went ahead and attacked him like she should have, instead of trying to be so wishy-washy and worried about not alienating herself from his base, she didn't have no guts. And it showed. And that's why she ended up on the sidelines. But she's been worried about Kamala becoming a president before she can get a chance to become one. And she ain't doing well with it. She can't deal with it. So here she is talking about today. She pissed at Trump because she ain't forgot how he dissed her and her husband, and calling her bird brain, and placed a bird cage outside of her hotel room during the campaign. And Trump's cheap ass, he didn't leave any bird seed for her, so maybe that's why she's pissed too. I don't know. Anyway, she said she has not forgotten all the things he said about her. So fucking what? And he gives a damn about you or your husband. And yeah, he didn't have no cause to do none of that stuff, but has that ever stopped him from being who he is, a piece of garbage? Come on, Nikki. And neither did old Squidward, Ted Cruz. He ain't forgot when Trump called his wife Heidi ugly compared to Melania. You think Trump gives a shit about either your feelings? I give Trump credit on that one. He knew both of them were bird brains. He just didn't know what species they were. He didn't know one was a parrot, the other was a dodo. But he knew both of them would endorse him anyway, and they did. So, Nikki, go home, enjoy your bird seed. It was free, and he gave you a crib too, without a mortgage, cage. Oh, you can't ask for no more than that. What you crying about? And no one needs to see you right now, Nikki, because you really, to be honest with you, baby girl, you are irrelevant. Okay, you're irrelevant. So, just go home. We don't need to see you now, nor do we need to hear from you. You did endorse Trump, didn't you? So, as they say, shut the fuck up. Okay? And speaking of malaria, here I go again. Man, I'm having a problem with words today. I don't know what's up. Speaking of Melania, my bad to the former fellows. It's interesting to me that she ain't been on the scene too tough at all lately. But now that she's trying to hawk her book, all of a sudden she's visible again. You see, while Trump was campaigning and getting shot at, her ass was out of sight. And when she did grudgingly show up at the Republican National Convention, and she looked mummified, petrified, and muted. But now she got the gall and sheer nerve as a true grifter that she is, just like him. She wants to shower this bum, her con artist husband, with love and praise, calling him, now get this, he's caring especially for this country. Notice she didn't say he was caring about her ass, but about the country. He cares about this country all right now because, you know, his ass in a bind. Jail time calling. He trying not to hear it. And she talking about he's really a family man for any of us who didn't know. Bitch, please. Please. You won't never say on the air, at least I never heard you say in public that you love him. Have you? If you have, somebody tell me. I missed it. Yeah, he was such a family man while he was poking Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal for almost a year, right? Melania, please. Please. Come on, man. Oh, you think all of us are stupid? As you said, be best. Come on. Stick to your creed and your motto. You know what you better do is ask Laura Loomer about your man. She might have some intimate details about how much of a family man she is. Matter of fact, when he was hugging her around the waist all the time for days, and she in and out of his plane, Con Air, you ain't made a noise, not a peep. But now that you want to try to move your book, now you want to extol all the virtues about his character and how much he's a loving family man. You better quit fucking with us. All right? You better stop it. Ain't nobody trying to buy that shit, only except maybe some foolish people gonna buy you a book. And you were trying to set the book up, talking about your nude photos and all the stuff. You got these drooling fools out there who are slobbering, probably salivating down their basement, ready to get one of those copies so they can take a look at it and see if you showing that cooch. They're gonna be sadly mistaken. And all they're gonna catch is probably some boobs and draws, if that. But at that point, it's too late. They done bought the book. Cha-ching. Money in the bank. And I hear old Trump claiming on his social media post that her book's the #1 seller. Hell, the damn book ain't even came out yet. It comes out on October the 8th. But some of those, I don't know which bestseller list he was talking about, but the big ones, the New York Times and all them other, she ain't even on the top 5. You know who's #1? That chick you can't stand, other than Kamala now. That other chick that was trying to knock your ass out the damn park running for president. You know who I'm talking about, Trump. Oh, Hillary. Her book #1. How you like that? You trying to pump up your girl. I understand that's your wife. Allegedly. You trying to get her some shine on because you know ain't nothing happening between you and her no how. But I see you moving on to Trump. I see you moving. Yup. Go ahead, try to prop her up. But you know they always say the truth wears no disguise, bro. Just another day in the life of the Trumps, grifting and grifting for a living. That's what they do. Well, it's been so much going on though, folks. It's just like, whew. And getting back to my boy Diddy, every day when I look at his situation, it just looks bleaker and bleaker. His shit's getting weaker. You know, according to reports, there's a whole lot of peoples high up and low down better be getting their attorneys in order and make sure those retainers are paid and all that, because I think this is going to be a bloodbath pretty soon. It's going to get real ugly. Man, a lot of people been hanging around old Diddy. Now, I'm not saying everybody's been associated with Diddy, has been in his presence at parties, what type of parties they were, all this stuff. I'm not saying they were doing anything totally wrong. When you go to parties with with those many people, with that type of celebrity crowd, you notice a few things is always going to be in play. It ain't no question. One of them's going to be drugs. That's a no-brainer. The other no-brainer, there'll be alcohol involved, of course. Third component is inevitable. Sex. Only question is, who's hitting who? And how many are hitting at the same time? You know what I mean? You know, orgies. They're in vogue when you get these kind of people together that love to snort, love to get jacked up, whatever the drug is, ecstasy, GBH, shit, probably even fentanyl. Who knows? Prostitutes involved. Like, that's a surprise. Come on now. But Diddy, according to the receipts, he was a stickler on audio-visual stuff. He kept surveillance cameras, videos in every room. And I heard that he was keeping copies for himself. And using some of those videos for his own self-satisfaction and recreation purposes. All I'm trying to say is this. There's going to be a whole lot of slow singing and flower bringing, because there's going to be some funerals for a lot of people who are going to be caught on tape. A lot of people going to be compromised. There's going to be a whole lot of squawking and talking. You can hear the chirping going on right now if you listen hard enough. Diddy ain't going down by himself. Y'all can believe that. So I'm wondering how many socialites and entertainers and athletes and politicians, business people, all kind of walks of occupations are going to be scrambling, trying to get their ducks in order and putting pressure on some peoples to suppress some of this bad press that's going to be coming. Mark my words. It's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, some way, Diddy pulled a David Copperfield. Because when a lot of people need some help to make some things go away, they'll figure out a way to pay. for a brighter day. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein didn't get a chance to get to the bank in time, save him, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, folks. But I have my own ideas about things, and I believe old Bill Barr knew a lot more about Epstein's demise than people can imagine or thinking about. But I'm not saying that I have any kind of proof that Bill Barr had any knowledge of what went down when those guards were just all of a sudden relieved of their duties for a couple hours or whatever. Somebody like Jeffrey, who's been hobnobbing with people like Trump and Dershowitz and a lot of other people, Clinton. You really think that a lot of people wanted to see Epstein go to trial and all that dirty laundry is going to be aired? Well, I know I didn't jump from what's going on today back to some past stuff, but when Bill Barr was running the DOJ, a lot of things disappeared, or a lot of things got suppressed. Ask Bob Mueller and his report. Y'all know where I'm coming from. But I ain't no conspiracy theorist. I'm just speculating. All right. Anyway, I know I didn't cover everything in today's news because there's just so much going on. I only got so much time, but I'll get back on some more stuff real soon, y'all. Y'all ain't seen your last of the boy, and we'll catch up on some current events in the next few days. I ain't gonna be away too long from y'all. So, anyway, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to it. I think I got more good things coming your way. Just stay tuned, stay with me, and we'll make it happen. All right. Rounds out. Peace.